to the North Dakota Stockman Association's Feeder Council annual Feedlot Tour, the virtual edition. Due to the COVID issues, we've decided to do an annual Feedlot Tour virtual edition, and so our intention today is to walk you through the facility to show you the components of a permitted animal feeding operation in North Dakota and all the guidelines and the steps that the Edgewood Ranch at Fordville, North Dakota have taken to address those concerns. At the end, there'll be an opportunity to be able to ask questions, and you'll be able to ask Travis or myself any questions, and so we'll look forward to them. So sit back in your chair and enjoy the tour as we head through the system. The annual Feedlot Tour is a product of the North Dakota Stockman Association Feeder Council. The Feeder Council provides a means to the North Dakota Stockman Association where the cattle feeding and backgrounding industry can give direction where it concerns the needs of cattle feeding industry and helps promote the cattle feeding sector in North Dakota. The Feeder Council is made up of 6 directors and 6 alternates located around the state. If interested in learning more about the Feeder Council, call the office at 223-2522 or visit our website at ndstockman.org.
So I'm Travis Bell. I'm from Fordville, North Dakota. We've got a cow-calf operation. We have a feedlot here, considered the Edgewood Ranch, and we also run sheep, a registered sheep herd of Hampshires and Targies. We are, I am a 4th generation to this family farm. Been around the cattle and livestock my whole life. It's always been my passion. I guess with that, we decided to expand, try to help what our future would be and my kids' future. So we built a feedlot back in 2007 with the help of the EQIP program and the health department for water quality assurance. It was to our benefit with our location to take advantage of the feeds and commodities we have in our area. In 2015, we expanded our herd again, buying a registered herd of Semitals, and we now have an annual production bull sale, which is held in conjunction with the Bada brother family from Adams. So we held that sale in February of every year with a registered Semital bulls and females. Generally, we're running a commercial Angus herd, getting into more of the Semitals as we continue to grow that position. Our facility is based on a lot of just co-products, byproducts. A lot of those products consist of beets from the beet factories from Drayton and East Grand Forks. We feed a lot of screenings, whether it be barley pearlings, barley screenings, wheat screenings. Plenty of corn in our area. We do feed some potatoes come time to time, and obviously the distillers when we can get them. So our new facility of our newer feedlot we built in right around the 2016. All our old feed bunk system we built in 2008. We used all concrete feed bunks. In the new facility, we changed all of our bunk lines to basically bottomless bunks. With snowfall in our northeast climate, you never know the amount of snow we're going to get, and cleaning bunks with some of the foreign products that we get, we found it much easier that we can just quickly come in here with a skid steer and lift them up, clean them, and put them right back in order. So we really like how we've gone from the cement bunks to the bottomless bunks. We've got 2 different styles. Our first set of bunks that we got were non-adjustable. We just kind of made them. They were just something I designed up. And then we had some adjustable ones as well. We do prefer the adjustable ones when you get into the bigger cattle. If you don't have the adjustable rail in the bottomless ones, the bigger cattle have a tougher time getting the clean out like you should. And with the adjustable lighter cattle versus big cattle, you obviously are, you're stopping the little cattle from crawling through and the big cattle so they can clean up the bunks all the way. But generally, we're happy with going bottomless bunks versus the concrete for our feed systems. again, from our old facility, we only had 12-foot feed aprons, and in the new feedlot, we went to 18-foot. And I guess if that was kind of just an experience thing, learning after a few years, scraping pads, 10 or 12 feet pads, it's fine for the cattle to stand on, but all the manure basically goes on the ground and not on the pad. And if you consistently scrape your pads like you should, the 18 to 20-foot pads are a huge advantage because that manure is staying on the pad and it's not deteriorating the backside of that slab. So they're walking off better. So the new feedlot is basically holds about 800 to 1,000 head depending on bunk space, and all the concrete pads are 18 feet wide, and our main delivery road is still our in and out for our cattle, and that basically consists of about 22 feet wide cowboy alley, and that's basically our feed delivery line as well. So in our newer feedlot, we went with energy-free fountains. We've already had plenty of Ritchie fountains with all electric heaters in them, and I guess it was kind of a cost savings things why we kind of went this way. We didn't have to dig any electrical lines in, and not only that, I guess even with our electrical heaters, we seem to still be out checking them and still have frozen waters every day. So we went this route. Never had any before, so we stuck. I think we got about 6 of these in right now, and for the most part, we are happy with them. We don't have to buy heating elements every other year for the the expense of that, the electricity going behind them. They still do freeze. I won't say they're just bulletproof. They freeze, but the majority of it is you just knock the ice out and you go again. So that part is pretty nice. We didn't put any concrete underneath these, as we didn't put any concrete along these. So far, like I said, this is about our 4th year going into them. You got to do a little bit of maintenance on them, pushing up some more gravel or whatever around them. But for the most part, we haven't seen the need to actually put concrete around them either. So all of our existing Ritchie fountains do have cement concrete pads. They're big singles and double bowls. As you can see, the dogs are chowing down on it now. But you can split these pens, I guess, for water. I guess the biggest thing is you got to remember what time of year it is. I mean, when cattle eat, they all come to the water at one time. So adding enough water space is kind of a crucial thing, not only in the winter but in summertime too. So more water is always better than less. So we always kind of put all the double bowls, but we have the convenience if we ever wanted to split a pen, we can just split these right down the middle and still divide our pens is equal, I guess. So we have our climates are so cold and we don't know how long we're going to have them. We do a fair amount of bedding. It's nothing for us to bed 3-4 days a week. So straw is our main bedding tool. If we can get corn stover bales, we'll use them as well. But that just kind of goes hand in hand with the portable windbreaks. We're able to move them and place them out of the way when we're cleaning for manure. The nice thing about the newer facility that we built is everything's adjustable, so you never know what size the head count you're going to be. So we build our pens to head counts. So if we need to move our bunks, we need to move our windbreaks, it's just a matter of sizing the pen to amount of cattle, and that makes it pretty convenient for our customers and for ourselves to match the pen and the size for the cattle. For our windbreaks in our newer facility feedlot, we went everything portable. We did a super steel, 24-foot long. We used drill stem as our tubing. We found this so we can clean. We just lift them up. We can move them wherever we want them. We find that to be pretty convenient. So we're down here in our original facility where the first feedlot we started and built, the 999 head capacity. These are just the concrete bunks that we use. As far as the neck rails, we concreted the drill stem into the concrete. We used the guardrail, non-adjustable. So far we've had no issues. Nobody cuts their head off or anything like that with the guardrail. It's bulletproof. you know, we do have to shovel these bunks out. We don't have a bunk blower, just don't have enough bunks, so we got enough manpower and we like to work, so we just shovel. Over here we got the Ritchie water fountain. Like I said, these are the fountains we put in when we first started, thinking that was the way to go. Good, bad, or the other. Concrete, we have a concrete water. That might have been better. I think it's just personal preference. The one thing with the old facility with the new versus the new facility, we have lights and electricity obviously in all the pens in the old facility, and it is kind of a convenience. So in the wintertime we do open up a couple of these pens to calve in and out of, so it does make it kind of handy to come in here. In the old facility or the new facility, we don't have any lights because there's no electricity. We have not had any issues because of that yet. Would it be nice at times? Yes, for incoming, receiving cattle, just trucks showing up middle of the night like they always do. So going out there without a flashlight, but most of the time, I don't know, we got nature's beauty, the moonlight showing us how to get there. So we make it work. So here we have our loadout facility. I think I've rebuilt this. This is the second time I've rebuilt this. This time I think I've built it to where I won't have to rebuild it again. The first structure I built back in 2007 or 2008, we just had wood posts braced at the top with just super steel. It worked great for a long time. We ran thousands of cattle in and out through it. Over the years, though, we knew it wasn't going to be a long-term deal, and that's what I've kind of found out about even our holding corrals. We built that. I've had to build that for the second time. First time I went with just continuous fence, wood posts. The second time I did all drill stem, all guardrail, all heavy steel. I guess if you're heavy use traffic with a lot of cattle, I just highly recommend spending the money right up front. It may cost a lot, but at the end it'll be way cheaper going with all heavy duty. So with this facility here that I built, I made it into 2 sections, and the idea I have behind it is when we're working cattle in pastures and we're not at home, I got one 24-foot section and one 32-foot section. I use guardrail, I use drill stem, I used just rubber belting on the end of the guardrail to get rid of my sharp edges on the guardrail. I put wheels in on the top so I can make it adjustable, whether I'm working 600-pound calves or if I'm working 1,200 or 1,600-pound cows coming through here. So with that, the idea of to eliminate my turnarounds and stuff like that. And for what I used for the adjustment, I've seen a lot of different ideas where they've had notches on the bottom or pins notched on top and pin and you move it. On this particular style, I haven't totally mastered it or got all my jacks, but I just use the hand crank jack and I can adjust it just one on each end, and I can make it move as whatever width I think so. My max width I believe is 32 inches, which is, you can get big bulls still through at 32 inches, and I'm sure I can get it down to about 20 inches. So for the most part I think we're going to hit all the size variations we need. Bracing, we still got some work to do. We're going to brace our drill stem posts over the top of the guardrail, and the idea behind that is if you don't brace, you're eventually going to start pushing that fence out. So highly recommend putting in bracing. It's worth the time and effort to do it right. Along with this alley, so we got I think 56 feet of alley here. We've loaded, I can't even count how many semis. Our old alley was the same length, it was 50 feet plus, and this one's 56. The idea that we have behind that is once the cattle go, we can load trucks very fast and efficient. A lot of truckers are always amazed when they come here how fast we can get them in and out of here. We can load 7-8 trucks in just as little as 2 hours. So we've got no issues there. The other thing that we're doing that we didn't do before is we put a swing gate at the end of our chute so we can back our stock trailer up right next to the loading chute. And so now we can use the same facility for loading either stock trailers or a semi. And we're going to find that a huge asset when we're moving more cattle, just take the stress away from the cattle. You know, the screaming, the hollering, the hot shots. the idea is just keep comfort at them, make it all easier, I guess. If you build it right, everything goes right. So we're inside our calving barn slash working facility barn. We built this barn, I think, probably around 2012, 2013. Our old existing facility was just in the open, great open doors, and we always had the plan to put up a shed after the feedlot was built. Just didn't have the resources to do it at that time. So when we did finally get the go ahead doing it, we put up a 60 by 100 shed. I think the sidewalls are 16 feet, so we can still drive machinery or tractors in here during the off-season time. Again, this is kind of I've had my first facility. I had just a regular crowd tub, and it had a curved alley into it. And the curved alley, it worked, but we always had cattle. We never had the flow of cattle the way we wanted it to, and it took up it wasted a lot of space in our barn. So actually, in summer of 2019, finally made the go ahead. We sold the curved alley, and we actually kept the tub system. So we kind of it's kind of similar to a bud box, but you could use it either or as a bud box or still the tub issue. But then we bought a double alley, straight alley into a single straight alley. So what it is, it's a 14-foot double, two 14-foot double lanes, and then it goes into a double 12-foot single lane. And we got one door coming into the barn where it's our loading facility, where we're processing calves. Somebody can always be loading calves while the other crew is working them, and then we have another door set up in front of the chute where we are just constantly kicking them out. So far, we are very happy with this. The cattle are seeing their exit right away. They are moving freer. So we're on the working facility side here right now. Over the years, we never had concrete pad underneath all this. We added this when we added the new single and double alley. And then you really find out how bad your feet hurt standing on concrete all day, you know, given processing calves or whatnot. So my daughter had a old gymnastics pad that sat and did nothing after her gymnastics career, went down the toilet. And so we cut we took the gymnastics pad and we shoved that where we're working on. And, you know, it doesn't sound like it's a big deal, but 3 inches of foam underneath your feet feels like another 4 hours at the end of the day if you have a long day of working cattle. So that was one big bonus, you know, whether it's a rubber pad, but this right here, what we're standing on, or I'm standing on, is just a gymnastic pad, and it works tremendous. We also put ceiling fans when we built the barn over our facility, kind of for our comfort, cattle comfort, flies, whatever. They work. If anything, I would suggest probably putting bigger blades on them so you get more airflow. The other thing I got to suggest is lighting is going to be a huge issue. I mean, there's no such thing as too much lighting in here. So the big factor we have here is we try to sort most of the cattle before they come into the chute area. But obviously, you know, you miss a bull, you miss a steer or a heifer, or when we're PG and you have open cows and your bred cows, we have the ability here that we can sort right out of our chute. So Scott's running the gate here. One way goes through the barn and one way goes straight. So whether we have doctoring to do on a calf later on or it needs to be attention to, we basically have 2 pens outside the building, and so 2 doors on the north side, one's on the east, one's on the west. And so we have just one swing gate here where they exit the chute, and if they're open or they need attention, we just run the gate the other way, and we basically can still have a 2-way sort. So if the guys out back are missing a sort or I miss a sort, we can still catch them coming through the chute. So this is our new feeding program that we just put in and started using in the fall of 2019. We've always kind of been in look for what kind of a program we could use to make our custom feeding and just our own facilities more economical and affordable, I guess. So this is a Performance Beef, it's called, program. This program literally keeps track of all of our feed inventories, shots, any type of pricing you put into your cattle, you can enter it into this system. So basically, in our feed trucks and delivery, we either feed off this iPad or our iPhones, and so it keeps track of your pen scores, your daily feed. If you overfed an ingredient, it'll keep track of that. It basically keeps track of every pound you ever fed. Your deliveries, your head counts. I mean, it literally does it all. You set your rations, you pick your rations. It's made our life out here so much easier. Whether I'm doing feeding or the next guy, you could have 4 guys feeding, and you can go back on your phone, and I can literally tell where they're at in feeding. I can tell what they overfed on an ingredient. It scores, like I said, you can score the bunks, you can put your death loss in here, you can put your treats in here, all the pens. This has really been a huge saving for our program. We bill out on it. Basically just covers all costs, so this is probably the new life-saving thing that we have out here on the ranch that we really find is probably the most valuable to so far in the feedlot. So I guess I'd just like to say thanks for taking in the virtual tour of Edgewood Ranch and Bell Family Semitoles. We really appreciate the interest of them taking us as consideration and doing this out here. At this time, I guess I kind of want to introduce my kids. This is my son, Lane. He's attending college at NDSA. I got my youngest child here, Kale. He's going to be, I think, at 5th grade. 4th grade, yeah. And my daughter, Cody, who's going to be now a freshman in high school. We're all very active of being involved with the livestock, whether it's sheep or the cattle. And I guess, like I said, without family and friends, none of this would be possible. This has always kind of been my dream of doing what I wanted to do. But without the appreciation of family and my parents, Arden and Marcy Bell, this really wouldn't be possible. So I guess that's just kind of a contribute is always make sure you're thankful enough to all the people that are helping you in what you do, because there's more than just one person out there that accomplishes things for one another. So just appreciate those who help you with everyday things, and life will be a better place. At this time, if anybody has any questions for me, I guess, whether it's the facility or genetics of our cattle or our operation, we'd be more than happy to have anybody go ahead and ask away. And if anybody ever wants to come see the facility, they're more than welcome to give me a call, and we'll give them the tour.